Have you ever let someone dig their own grave and just watched? After my mom died from cancer, my dad fell into a deep depression. He'd spend hours staring at old photos, barely eating the microwave dinners I'd leave outside his door. Then Natalie walked into our lives. She was 31, worked at the bank where dad kept his investments, and had the kind of smile that made you want to trust her. I was 22 and suspicious when she started accidentally running into dad at his favorite coffee shop, but I kept my mouth shut when she turned dad's life around. She got him eating real food again, convinced him to start golfing with his old buddies. Even I had to admit, seeing dad laugh again was worth swallowing my doubts. The wedding was small, just close family. Natalie wore a simple white dress and tearfully promised to take care of both of us. I noticed she kept glancing at the massive painting of our beach house during the reception. Things changed so gradually, I almost missed the signs. First, she suggested dad was too stressed to keep managing his construction company. Then she started handling all his emails because technology confused him these days. The red flags started when she began talking about dad's concerning memory issues at family dinners. She'd interrupt him mid-sentence to correct perfectly normal memories. If he disagreed, she'd share worried looks with guests. Poor thing, she'd sigh, rubbing dad's shoulder. The doctors say this confusion is normal at his age. What doctors? Dad hadn't seen any doctors. I played dumb, watching as she slowly convinced everyone, including dad, that he was losing his grip. She'd move his keys, then act concerned when he couldn't find them. She'd change plans they'd made, then gently remind him they'd never discuss that, honey. The final straw was overhearing her on the phone with her sister. Once I get power of attorney, we can finally sell that ugly beach house. He won't even remember it exists. That's when I decided to have some fun. See, dad wasn't losing his mind. He was grieving mom, yes, but sharp as ever. After mom died, he'd quietly signed everything over to me. The company, the properties, even his beloved boat. A precaution, he'd said, in case he ever got too lonely. So I watched Natalie shop, watched her charge jewelry, designer bags, even a brand new BMW to their joint accounts. You deserve it, honey, she'd tell dad. We can afford it. She redecorated their house 3 times in 2 years, ordered custom furniture from Italy, booked first-class trips to Paris and Dubai, all while complaining to anyone who'd listen about dad's deteriorating mental state. I documented every purchase, every transfer, every time she used dad's credit cards thinking she was spending his millions. What she didn't know, those joint accounts were basically empty. Dad's real money, close to $40 million, was all in my name. She also didn't know that in our state, debt accumulated during marriage is split equally between spouses, even debt from before death. I waited until she'd spent nearly $2 million. Then, at dad's 65th birthday party, catered with stupidly expensive champagne she'd ordered, dad stood up to make a speech. I want to thank everyone for coming, he said clearly, especially my wonderful daughter, who's been managing all my businesses and properties these past 3 years while I focused on healing from losing her mother. The look on Natalie's face was priceless. She knocked over her champagne glass, trying to interrupt him. Oh, and Natalie, dad continued, I've known about the separate bank account you've been funneling money into, the one you opened in the Caymans. My daughter's been monitoring that too. Natalie tried to run. Security stopped her at the door. Turns out trying to wire money offshore is pretty illegal. She spent 3 months in jail for attempted fraud. When she got out, she found divorce papers waiting, and a bill for her half of the debt, just over $900,000.